All right. Got it. So, anyway, I expected this to come, but not so last minute because 48 hours working days, like 2 working days is required. And this dip nugget here, another dip nugget, not the Carico guy. This is actually Bart Rellett or Rodney Bart Rellett, the city attorney in Kingsport. It's almost like he's already been read his Miranda rights or something when it comes to interacting with me at all. But anyway, so we issued these subpoenas, Ducis Tecum. When I say we, I mean me. I, on behalf of my son, issued these subpoenas to the school counselor, Tammy Williams, who's I'd made these disclosures to the principals, Music, Zahner, and some other people that work for the city, including the city attorney himself. So anyway, this came in last minute yesterday, and as it says, Kingsport City School personnel have received the various subpoena ducis tecum issued by the Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Court of Scott County, Virginia. Though not all the subpoenas served appear to be formally issued, as they are not subscribed to by a judicial official or notary public. The copies I have all have the notary, Lisa Dingus, I think it is, or one of the other clerks there in Scott County. So I don't know what Mr. Rolette is thinking. Um, as out of state subpoenas must be domesticated in the state where the non party is located from whom documents or testimony is sought, the subpoena therefore must be domesticated in Tennessee pursuant of the uniform blah 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 yada 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 until such time as the UIDDA is complied with. Kingsport City Schools is under no compulsion to comply with this subpoena. So they violated so many state statutes when it comes to mandatory reporting. So I've already replied to this to the counselor, or whatever you want to call him, the city attorney there. And of course, I'm not going to get any response because it's the weekend, and even though this guy might be sweating at home, he doesn't want his teachers or his administrators or his counselors testifying, and for good reason. And if I was in his situation, my gosh, I'd be sweating too, because all that has to happen is them to admit this violation did take place. So this is what my reply was. Let me get it up here. Sent. I'm not so tech savvy, so give me a moment. I always get up about this time to walk my dog, and then when I can't rest or something like that, of course, here it is. I just replied, received, thank you, and then listed the statutes. Oh, they've already replied to my reply. Please find documents which blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I just replied, receive, thank you. And then I start listing the 3 statutes, the main statutes that the school has violated. And they violated these last year too, except it was kind of in reverse. They were protecting a school teacher and not the children. And now they're in this lawsuit. Kingsport City Schools is being sued in a civil matter. And I would imagine they're asking for lots of damages, especially when the lawyer that's in on this, Justin Gibson, I think his name is, out of Chattanooga. It's out of his law firm, but the lawyer handling it is out of, I think, Manchester, Tennessee. I don't know. Anyway, so I list 37-1-403, persons required to report, contents of report. Okay, that never happened last year and this year, all of 2022, all of 2023. And then a month and a half late, they try to turn this in. And, everything's timestamped, everything's dated. All that does, all they did by not reporting was obstructed justice, because it in fact would hinder any investigation, forensic interviews, anything like that. It made it look like that I'm the only person reporting these things when my son Zayden begins making disclosures about the horrible things that happened to him in Scott County. And I want to get upset. The other one is 37-1-605, duty to report investigations, okay? And then the other one is 49-6-1601, children suspected to be victims of child abuse or child sexual abuse, training, reporting, child abuse coordinators. Okay, these statutes were all directly violated by the city of Kingsport employee whom subpoenas were issued for. And that's not just the one counselor, that's the SRO as well. Anyway, the school resource officer. Motion to quash is just more of the same from Mr. Roulette. Please consider having these mandated reporters all questioned in accordance with the law of the land. My son, the plaintiff, is now 5 years of age. These decisions made, whether unilaterally by this attorney, Bart Roulette, or a board of his peers, needs further investigation. Yours truly, J.S. Moore, BNF for the plaintiff. That's by next friend. So one of the reasons that I do not want someone else to lead this, I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be a lawyer, but I've been in a courtroom before where I needed my lawyer to speak and needed my lawyer to be familiar with the case, and they weren't. And it ended up going another way. So I'm always a person that expects the unexpected, plans for the unexpected, but I want somebody by me that gives a schnauzer. So anyway, especially when you're giving them that much money, just for retaining them now is a minimum of $4,000, which is nuts. A couple years ago, it was about $2,000, but everything jumped up. And I'm not going to blame any specific politician. We'll just blame corporations there. But anyway, these three statutes are the main ones, and this is not limited to that. They're in violation of others, but these three are what I will quote or have quoted to the Scott County Combined Courts. And hopefully, I mean, what's supposed to happen is the motion to quash should have a hearing. Especially if the judge is choosing to grant it, I should be able to argue that side. Now, like I say in previous videos, that judge is God in that country, in that area, in that county, and I don't envy that. He was a Commonwealth attorney before. His son is an NBA slam dunk champion. And for whatever reason, I've been in front of him before, and he had to be reminded that I was not someone else. He keeps getting me confused with Zidon's stepdad, and not to say anything bad about the stepdad, because the stepdad was there protecting Zidon, protecting his sister from abuse, from heinous acts. In the Philippines, not here, it's legal to put your child in the floor on their knees, to put them in a prone position, have them stretch out their hands, and it's legal to hit them with things, batons, rulers, cell phones, flip-flops. It's very common in Mindanao and other parts of the Philippines for this kind of corporal punishment to happen, especially to the boys. From what I've read, it is quite common that the boys are treated more harshly than the girls, but they're hit on the balls of their feet. Sometimes they're made to hold books. And this began happening to my son when he's 3 years old. That's why I am so committed to his safety. And it just hasn't seemed like the courts have been committed to his safety. It's like they've given her a pass. So in Virginia, October 30th, that's coming up 2 days away. At approximately 1 p.m., this hearing is supposed to take place. Of course, Mr. Roulette's actions will probably delay that, which is fine. I'm just happy that Judge McClung has granted a hearing. Now, when I say he's God, he does have all the power. He has all the power in Scott County. He could just say, you know what, I'm just going to dismiss this. He has the ability to do that. I would try my best for that not to happen. What do you all think? Am I doing the right thing here? If you had a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old that was in a bad situation, that made disclosures to the school counselor, to others, to grandparents, and it got reported, and for whatever reason, Child Protective Services wouldn't act, The teachers didn't report like they were supposed to, and they are supposed to, even if it's just suspected. Kingsport for a long time has done this. If there's no mark, there's no report nonsense. And three different people told me that day that we had the parent teacher conference. That's the counselor, the assistant principal, and the principal. They all confirmed that their legal, which is the city attorney, Bart Rowlett, will not let them follow the state mandate. And now, in a perfect world, this guy would be disbarred. Um, but they cover their tracks. They'll find their scapegoat. They'll pinpoint one person, and unfortunately, they'll try to make it the school resource officer. It's one of the reasons when I issue a subpoena, I want it from the top down, not the bottom up, because they're always going to settle on the lowest person on the totem pole, just sacrifice them. And they're the ones on the front page of the newspaper. They're the ones getting incarcerated. But the system, not the counselor, not the school resource officer, failed Ziden and continues to fail Ziden. And if he continues to be intimidated at school, if they continue to just stick a sucker in his mouth, I'll just pull him from school. He can go to St. Dominic's or somewhere that that follows mandates and issues corporal punishment themselves, but in a legal way. You know, I'm not against spanking a child. I'm against breaking the law of the land. And Siden's mother's already been warned about that punishment, that prone position. And witnesses in the home still attest to that still happening. She's still getting away with it. No one has acted. No one has done anything. So, but on these, the motion to quash, we'll see what happens there. I do want to keep you all informed. To say I'm not afraid, I mean, I am definitely cautious, and I just know that you have to pay attention to the things that people say. This guy, Bart Roulette, is not in his position, uh, and I'm sure he earned the right to be there. He was the assistant city attorney under Billings, and that may be why he's just like Billingsley was. It would be a shame if he gets away with this in any way, or he gets to retire early and live his life down in the Bahamas sipping a margarita. I don't drink margaritas. Anyway, I do thank you all for following this story. Now, on a lighter note, one of our new pieces of artwork came in. This is by Yanka Latekova. This is our sun card. Look at these children playing in the sun. This is supposed to be a really happy card, a happy page in a book. And I'm really happy with her artwork there. But yeah, so to keep from going crazy, to keep from getting totally consumed by this, I have to find things to do. So today, when I get Ziden up, I'm thinking we're going to go to Bays Mountain and do some hiking a little bit. And then we've got to be somewhere around 4 p.m. Around people that care about Ziden. He gets to dress up in his Halloween stuff, and should be a good time. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in, and have a great day. Samhain, or whatever you want to call it. Have a wonderful weekend. Full moon tonight, too. Take care.